Benjamin John, St Albans 395. Thank you for the answer and noting the Archbishop of Canterbury's answer to question 171. Will the House of Bishops consider publishing pastoral guidance for themselves, considering how to walk with integrity by maybe resigning if they cease to believe, teach, or uphold the doctrine of the Church of England on essential matters?
So, my reflection would be that I understand, let me speak personally, but I think I probably speak for my colleagues. It is the job of the bishops to teach the faith as we have received it. And if we find ourselves unable to do that, then clearly that is a matter for conscience. For the rest of the church, there are the mechanisms available, which of course are not for the bishops themselves to administer. Clearly that would be inappropriate. But as well as it being the job of bishops to teach the faith as we have received it, it's also the job of bishops, indeed the whole church, to explore what is sometimes called the development of doctrine, to which in my own thinking I tend to follow Newman on this. I'm going to have to paraphrase Newman's thesis on the development of doctrine, but I think it's something like, within the acorn there is, as it were, potentially the whole of the oak tree. And so doctrine doesn't change, but doctrine does develop. And on some of those issues, you may be aware, I'm sure this wasn't in your mind when you asked the question, you may be aware there are some issues at the moment facing the church, which are precisely in that area, where at the moment the bishop said, no, doctrine doesn't change. But there is a discussion about the development of doctrine. I mean, the doctrine of the Trinity would be the best example of that, where we find, as it were, the acorn of the doctrine in Scripture, but it is some centuries later it becomes the doctrine as we know it. So that's the view I take. I feel confident it's the view my fellow bishops take. And if you want to read a book on the subject, I recommend the New Testament.